You guys know when the silent character in a Call of Duty game dies, and you just don't care because they're essentially the same person as the next character you'll play as, in the next mission, and the next year, and the next decade? But when Keith David is pinned down on the streets of a war-torn Washington, and you're stuck in a downed helicopter with no ammo, and you're begging that this ear-pleasing voice gets out unharmed, that's because they weren't just a pair of disembodied hands holding a smoking barrel. They were real characters. Not just regular characters, they were characters that commanded respect and maybe even fear, despite only knowing two things about them: their name and not to fuck with them. John Soap McTavish made the stunning leap between sequels from Cinderblock with a gun to the damn finest Scotsman in video games. First, let's look back at Call of Duty Modern Warfare 1, where McTavish plays the silent protagonist with literally nothing for the player to connect with. No personality, no face, not even a voice. The star of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 1 is Captain Price, which I am just now realizing that the two main characters in the Modern Warfare trilogy are both called John. He has that deep commanding voice and calm exterior, but he's not afraid to let the inner bulldog out to bite. He is the man that every player wants to be. For 2 missions, the player gets control of Captain Price in a flashback sequence. The problem here is once in control of Lieutenant Price, he turns into a pair of disembodied hands with no personality or spoken lines. He's not even given anything remarkable to do except save his captain and use a sniper rifle in a very irritating gimmick section. Then it's back to Soap and Price returns to his usual badass self. So, it looks like the theory of building up an impressive character and then letting the player control that character later in the game doesn't work. But what if you create a nothing character, then build them up into a fantastic character, and give the player control of them? Then give that character one of the best missions and most glorious sequences in the game. Enter Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. You assume control over your latest Ghost Hands protagonist. You peer out on a sheet white mountain range, thick with a stormy blizzard. As you turn to your right, a mysterious man smokes a cigar, his face impossible to read. Is he thinking of someone he once knew? Planning this upcoming operation? Or wondering just how many people have to die today because they got in his way? He exhales his cigar as he comes to whatever decision he's just contemplated. As he does, an enemy fighter jet soars off from above you. Most likely your next objective, but in an excellent subversion of expectation, they reveal your next objective is to follow Captain McTavish. Not only is this a perfect introduction to a character you know nothing about, they take it a step further by saying you do know the character, or at minimum you know where he's been, and you're the one that got him to this point, and now you get to do it with another character fighting alongside your previous achievement. Once again, while you play as Roach, you watch McTavish do all these stylish and incredible events like tackle a moving target off a balcony and onto a car roof, or return the pistol Price lent to him upon their reunion, and it begins to look like a repeat of the original Modern Warfare. After Roach burns to death in a ditch, you play the final stretch of the campaign as Soap McTavish, yet for some obligatory reason, he reverts back to being a silent protagonist again, even though he speaks in between the missions you're playing as him. But who fucking cares, because that knife throw was legendary. I love how long it takes for Soap to pull it out of his stomach. It's a solid 10 seconds of mashing square as the screen shakes and gets bloodier and bloodier, where you can hear the exasperated groans of Soap yanking the metal blade from his flesh. Then you rip it out and begin one of the most extraordinary uses of slow motion. Shepard looks away from beating Price for 1 second and then gets pierced right in his bloodlusting eye. Look at this transformation over 3 games. Starting off as a pale mockery next to the awe-inspiring Captain Price with little more to his name than his gloves, to a mysterious mohawked madman who has fully matured and come into his own, leading the 141 in Price's absence and scoring, like the last video, one of the most iconic kills in video game history, to having the most impactful and painful death in the Call of Duty franchise, above Roach and Ghost in Modern Warfare 2. I defend this because while Roach and Ghost are killed off suddenly in an unexpected way, we still only knew them for one game, and I use the term knew with Roach loosely because of him being a ghost with a gun and all. While Soap is too injured to fight for his final mission, Yuri and Price have to carry him to safety. When you reach the safe zone, Soap dies quickly, and there's no slow-mo or sweeping score, just Price losing his mind as his dearest friend passes away right before his eyes. It's so much more visceral and honest, and I loved how it was so different from all the other protagonist deaths we've seen throughout the trilogy. Granted, Soap is not playable at any point in Modern Warfare 3, still, it was much more refreshing, and it showed us Price at his most vulnerable, to the point where he just about kills Yuri over Soap's dying words. For the first and only time in a Call of Duty game, I felt actual loss for a character. I just pray that the reboot can do him justice.